Manchester United run it back with another inexcusably switched off second half and only manage a point at home to Bournemouth. And really, for the neutral, was an 8-goal thriller. Like, I don't think anyone in the world would have predicted a 4-all draw with this Bournemouth side at Old Trafford, but it happened. Bournemouth love goals against us. I think they've scored a ton of goals against us in the last couple seasons. But I think I mentioned to Dylan, too, that while we were watching it, and it ran up to 4-all. It felt a little like Sir Alex's last game in charge. You guys remember that 5-all draw with West Brom in his last season? Remember that shit? Yeah, that was annoying. But again, for the neutral fan, I'm sure it was a fun watch. But I don't know about you, but I'm still a little annoyed, and there's a lot of little. It's not like one thing. It's a lot of little things that make me annoyed, and I think the overarching thing is just we're shit at home. But we're going to talk about the result. We're going to talk about the performances, what this could mean moving forward for United, what this could mean for AFCON and whatnot. You guys know the drill. This is United versus everybody. I am your host, Sean. Like, subscribe. Let's get stuck in. You guys know I always got to check and see who's involved in the chat. Big up Lucky's in the house. Lucky wanted 5 goals. We could have had at least 6 or 7 goals with some of the chances that we missed in front of net, man. I'm not going to lie. But welcome, Lucky. Good to see you again. Danny's in the house. Big up, man. Yes, the under-21s are playing right now. I think they just kicked off on MUTV. Obviously, I'm not watching it because I'm here with y'all. But Danny, keep us updated with the scoreline as we go along, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope your back's feeling better, man. Box is in the house. Big up, Box. Good to see you, man. Man, I need a haircut. My hair is getting long. Danny's still pissed. I'm still pissed. Box is livid. Everyone's pissed. Not a whole lot to talk about ahead of time. At least you know that you knew the Semenyo rumors are going to pop back up after this match, right? They always do. We'll talk about Semenyo though. What did you think of Semenyo yesterday? He's been obviously the talk for the last couple months for a player that he's obviously linked to a lot of clubs. I think a lot of it does have to do with his release clause and whatnot, but which I think does kick in a couple weeks. But what do you think of him? You know, we talked about Wharton. We talked about Anderson. Did Semenyo pass the audition for you guys? I mean, I thought he was solid yesterday. I mean, let's be honest, though. Most players do show up against United. It just is. Or maybe we just make them all look like prime Messi. Remember Jared Bowen a couple weeks back was literally just dancing through multiple United defenders on his way to goal. Like, it was embarrassing. But on Semenyo, I mean, I thought Semenyo did well. I mean, he's physical. He was direct. He was clinical. He definitely looked like a man possessed yesterday. I think he should have been sent off. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But for me, it was never about like Semenyo shit. I just didn't want to spend that much for what I thought was going to be just a rotation player. But if he could sustain that level of physicality, I mean, I could see him playing left wing back. Maybe does he want to play left wing? Like, I don't know. We know that he wants to go to a club where he's going to play. But you guys, let me know. Did Semenyo pass the test for you? Did you guys like what you saw yesterday? Who else is in the chat? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Bilal's in the house. Big up, Bilal. Hope you're doing well, man. How's everyone's day going? I keep forgetting it's Tuesday. It doesn't feel like a Tuesday. It's been interesting. Box says, how many chances do we miss? A lot. A lot, man. Absolutely a shit ton of chances. Box says, put hands on Dallo. Yeah, Casemiro. He was. We're gonna revisit that later on because I thought Simon Hooper had a really shit performance as a referee, which I'm not blaming him. We don't blame refs here. That's not something we do. That's something Florentino Perez does. We don't do that here. But the ref just so many handballs, literally so many handballs, dude. An octopus would have gotten away with so much yesterday. It was insane. Then he says 4-4-2 didn't stop these players from conceding mentality, concentration thrown out the window. Well, I've got thoughts on why I thought we conceded a couple goals. Box is not sure about making any signings. We bought PL Proven and Bumo and Cunha. They frustrate. Honestly, I thought Cunha, for me anyway, was in a shout to be man of the match for us yesterday. It was between Cunha and Lamens. Obviously Bruno is going to get in there as well, but I think for what Cunha did yesterday and what Lamens did yesterday, I thought that Cunha was very, very, very good. Cunha does a lot of the work for everybody. He's constantly getting involved. I mean, obviously he got his goal as well. He just constantly looked up for it. I'm pleased with Cunha. I think I'm looking beyond goal and assist for a second and looking at just the way he played, and I thought Cunha was literally easily one of our best players, top 3 for me on the night. probably tied for me for top below, like for second between Laman's. Laman's easily saved us some blushes as well. But as far as team news goes, I mean, obviously third start in a row for Aiden Heaven. I talked about that on the match preview in that short. Euro and Shaw, so Heaven, Euro, Shaw in the back line, which I was a little concerned about when I saw that back line, mostly just because of how young it was. Euro's been little iffy in the last couple weeks, just showing his youth a little bit. Heaven, he's yes, you could say Heaven is kind of growing with in confidence, but still guilty of these lapses that you're going to see from youth. Again, they're not bad; they're just young. Sorry, I just smacked the microphone. um, Obviously, Ahmad Andalo, Bruno Casemiro, and then Cunha, Mount, and Mbeumo. And I really like that front three of Cunha, Mount, and Mbeumo. I think that front three looks it's eerily reminiscent of like '07, '08, Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo front three. The way that it's just so free flowing, they're so interchangeable. It's one touch. I really like it a lot. Now the question is, when Chesko comes in, what does that look like? I thought Chesko also looked well yesterday when he came on, but yeah, the back three was my biggest concern yesterday when I saw that, and I've got thoughts on that as well later on. Yeah, Dan, I do think Cunha played very, very well yesterday, personally. Box says, but finishing goals and assists for the attackers is ultimately the currency we live by. Yeah, I mean, tell that to the Bruno haters, because they're going to talk about, the one time Bruno was out of position, but but they don't want to give him any credit for the goals and the assists and whatnot. Again, we can't have it both ways. I'm not accusing you of this, Box. I'm just saying it's just everybody got their own kind of way of doing things. I think what Cunha did yesterday helped a lot of the other players do a little bit less of what he was doing so they could do more of what they were doing. And I mean, Cunha should have had another assist. That ball he put on a plate for Mbeumo, that cross was perfect. Mbeumo definitely should have done better with that ball. So I do think that could have been the difference between the. But I mean, Cunha got his goal. His hustle, his energy, his work rate, his physicality. And he's going to have opportunities now with Mbeumo going to AFCON. Ahmad going. I think Cunha is going to turn a corner as well. But he does. I mean, he could do better. Remember, he was out for a hot second too. So it is what it is. Box says Mbeumo finishing of late have been poorer than Anthony, Garnacho, Weghorst. Don't bring Weghorst into this, but yeah, Mbeumo yesterday was not great. I've got thoughts on that. You guys know I'll go through the players individually here in a second, but talk about numbers, because on one hand you could say, hey Sean, we outperformed our XG, but 25 shots, 18 shots from inside the box, 48 touches in Bournemouth's box, and just 9 of those shots are on target. So literally a quarter of the shots on target, half of the ones from inside the box on target, and just 4 goals to show for it is a shit show. We should have done better. It's a weird place to be in when you're like, oh, we scored 4 goals at home, but feel like you're mad because we should have had more goals. This should have been easily 6 or 7 goals for us. Now, granted, Bournemouth scored 4 as well. It's just, how united is it? We could be at home, score 4 goals, and still only get a point. It's fucking insane. We do have the best XG in the league. This is the 3rd time this season that we've put up an XG in a match of more than 3 goals, but we're just not putting away those chances, which is really frustrating. And another game, like where someone said earlier, where we just got bullied. We were the 2nd best in all the battles, duels. I mean, Luke Shaw getting completely shoved off the ball by Semenyo was an absolute piss take. There's no excuse for that. It's so annoying. What are you guys saying here as well here? Weghorst is a workhorse. Isn't that the literal translation of his name, if I remember correctly? I don't remember correctly. We were cursed yesterday with that Shaw Mount brain fart and Ahmad challenge. Yeah, I don't blame Mount as much as I do Shaw in that situation. There wasn't much Mount could do other than pass back to Shaw. But again, Shaw didn't need to take that extra touch. Shaw should have just booted the hell out of it. And we've seen that time and time again sometimes, where these players, instead of just doing the simple, clear thing, they want to take 1,000 touches. They want to try to dance around the box. They want to try to just walk out of the situation rather than just do the first thing you need to do and just clear the danger and regroup. I can't tell you how many times this season or in the last couple seasons when we have the ball in the box and I just yell at the TV, just boot it, boot it, boot it. And I'm happy that we were doing it a little bit more yesterday, but fuck off, man. Seriously. Box is Heaven on that first goal sport. Yeah, I thought Heaven and Euro were getting on my nerves a little bit, but they're young, so I'm not. We'll see. Um, Lamans. Let's move on to some players here, you guys. How are you guys doing today? I finished my last day of my player care class today. Just ended literally about half hour or so ago. So that's done. Getting certified in that soon. Did had to do a presentation and whatnot. So all good there. So happy to. I think I'm going to take a break from classes for a little while though after the PFA and now the player care. I think I'm done. PFA was literally a whole year of stuff, man. That was insane. But yeah, I think I'm going to take a break from classes and just go enjoy my trip next week. I'm leaving next week. Dylan and I are going. It's crazy. Why don't we talk about some players here, you guys? Make sure you are liking, please. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. What do I have to say about Senna Lamans yesterday? Honestly, again, like I said, I could, if you take Bruno out of it, because Bruno is obviously going to get man of the match. I think he was like man of the match in football. I mean, when you get a goal and assist, especially with the free kick, that was as perfect. I mean, literally postage stamp for that free kick. Top bins, upper 90, as we say here in the States. But honestly, other than Bruno, I mean, you could have tossed a coin between Cunha and Lamans for man of the match almost. Lamans honestly kept us in this with 3 or 4 just absolutely tremendous reflex saves. His stop for Tavernier's header and then those stoppage time saves against Brooks were literally the difference between us winning or getting a point and getting nothing. His distribution was very good on the night. I thought he was putting that ball where he needed to put it. Just a big step up from Onana. I can't stress this enough. I know there's been questions asked recently. I think that, again, a lot of that has to do with the defenders in front of him. No De Ligt, no Maguire, a couple of shaky performances from Euro and a teenager. Yes, it's a little iffy back there. No Mazraoui, obviously, again. But I saw people blaming him for the goals, which I don't get that. I mean, I don't get that at all. Someone was even asking on Twitter, like, what happened to Son Lamans? I'm like, this is why you don't go on social media immediately after a match. But Sen Lamans literally saved us from a loss yesterday. With literally saved us. He was an absolute baller yesterday. Bilal says park your car and have it. Yeah, that's a Boston thing. I'm from the Midwest, so I'm from Michigan. We don't sound like that. But big up, Dylan's in the house. Hope you're doing well, Dylan. Dylan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how buzzing are you about this trip next week, man? We are dipping out literally in a little over a week, like 8 days, man. Danny says Lamans played well. Fan base going after him, probably. Yeah, I don't get that at all, man. Lamans was an absolute beast. What I mean, the free kick. I don't know what you could do against a free kick. Like you just can't do anything. It's like I don't get it. I thought he was just fine. So Locke says no Maguire, and we look so vulnerable. Plus De Ligt was wild, but he's playing well when we crumbled. Yeah, we need De Ligt back, man. I'm not trying to like throw anybody under the bus, but we could. There's a definite difference. Dylan says, I do say boot it like all the time. It's like the first thing I just want them to do when that ball's in and around our box, man. Danny says, yeah, he's 23. Yeah, 23 is no age for goalkeepers. I mean, if we can keep him till he's 33, that would be fantastic, man. Box says Bournemouth basically had free shots on Lamans, no defenders. Yeah. Euro, on that note, we'll move on real quick to my next as I'm going through these individuals. Euro, I thought Euro was caught way too high up the pitch at times. He left a lot of space. He was literally in the opposition half making challenges, not like we were progressing with the ball. He was literally all the way up there making challenges. And I'm like, bro, you just need to chill. Left so much space in behind. We were a little vulnerable. And he's still going to have those moments where he's just caught between two minds. Like, do I stay? Do I go a push up? Like, which runner do I? You're going to see that because he's young. There's literally no wealth of experience. There's no bank for his brain to build any sort of muscle memory or any sort of experience. And this is what you're going to get from young players. This was a big part of why I do push back a little bit when it comes to the play the youth argument, because it's not that simple. It's such a big step up from the academy to Premier League football. And it's not just because of skill or even physicality. It is simply because of experience. And I think that Euro and Heaven yesterday specifically showed a little bit of that inexperience. And again, they're not bad. They're just inexperienced. They're young. Heaven, obviously, again, he is growing confidence. He is growing on the ball, especially like that comfort when he's on the ball. He looks very, very composed. But again, same is issues as Euro with that inexperience. Dylan says a 12 on the 6 to 12 scale. um, I'm Boston. I am not Bostonian. I have some family in Boston, which also helps my Patriots fandom. But that has a lot to do with Tom Brady being a U of M grad as well. But no, I do like Boston. I've hung out in Falmouth a couple times. I do like Falmouth. It's good times. But yeah, the closest I've probably got to Boston, other than Falmouth, is like I love Boondock Saints. That's about it. Yeah, they were time wasting a lot, man. I mean, you're gonna get that. I was saying too when we were going into the to full time that I was like, there better be minimum like 6 minutes of stoppage here because anything less than that is an absolute piss take. It was 8. I was happy with that, but and honestly, we should have won that, but it is what it is, man. Thing is, it should have been given a pen. We should have been given 2 pens for a handball, and Semenya should have been sent off. Like I said, Simon Hooper had an absolute mare yesterday, dude. It's ridiculous. Box agrees. I'm 50-50. Like, I don't have a problem with playing youth. It's just the environment, the stability, the culture, all that has to be in a good place before you can throw youngsters into it. And again, they will be inconsistent. We saw that over the years with Garnacho. We saw that with Rashford. I mean, that's just part of it. And that doesn't mean they're bad. It's just I've said it many, many times. The one consistency you're going to get with youth is inconsistency. That's just the way it is. Let's see. So Your Own Heaven again. We're talking more about them in a little bit. Shaw, the experienced member of the back line, and he was again because Euro and Heaven were kind of jumping up and really stepping up high. He was kind of responsible for covering for them pretty frequently. I thought he could have done so much better for again that whole 1-2 with him and Mount that Semenyo literally just bullied him off the ball, basically just shoved him into the bench, and just went on a tear. Like Shaw should have just put his boot through that, or at the very least just kicked it out. There was no need to try to do anything. You're under pressure in a tight area. Just get rid of it and figure it out later. Regroup. That's why I just say boot it. Like I'd rather just boot it than watch a ball pinball in the box or something. Boot it, regroup, let him come back, and then start again. Like that shit annoys me. That really annoys me. Because I don't know if that's tactical, if that's the players just feeling overconfident or indecisive or what. But your first job just needs to be clear the danger in those situations. That's all I care about. So Buck says we need some balance between Ten Hag's and Amorim's mantra on youth. Yeah, yeah, I don't have a problem. Like Ollie, I really don't have a problem. You guys know I love the youth. I do academy stuff all the time. It's not just as black or white as that, I guess, is where I'm coming from. But moving on. Ahmad. I thought Ahmad did very, very well for his goal. He's just in the right place at the right time. I thought he always looked the threat on the ball yesterday. 2 out of 3 dribbles, put in a defensive shift, made 2 tackles, won 7 out of 10 of his ground duels, which is great. We're going to miss him for AFCON. I think that he is that player right now who does get you out of your seats when he's on the ball. I think he just always looks at danger. He always carries it into the box. And yesterday, he really put in a wingback shift. He was, like I said, very physical off the ball as well. Dallo, what a perfect ball for our opener. Like, who knew, too? This is 2 weeks in a row now. Dallo's put in a really excellent cross. If you'd asked me for my man of the match at the first half, it might have even been Dallo in with a shout, but he did sort of step off it in the second half like a lot of the players did, but I thought he did decent yesterday as well. Yeah, we are going to miss Ahmad, man. We're definitely going to miss Ahmad for sure. Big up, Rich. I hope you're doing well, man. How's life? What do you got going on this week? It is freezing cold here today where I'm at, so that's awesome. Love winter. I hate winter so much. Between the two, between a really cold winter and a really hot summer, though, I'm probably always going to prefer winter just because you can always put more clothes on. You take enough clothes off in the summer and people start looking at you funny. So I can always put more clothes on in the winter, and that I don't have a problem with that. Really, I dislike weather that makes me not want to go outside, whether it's 100 degrees or 10 below. I can't stand it. It's just annoying. Rich says, I thought Dallo did okay. Yeah, we give Dallo his flowers. I think if it were up to me, I'd probably still sell him because I just think we could definitely improve and we'd make money on him. If we switch to a back four, I mean, Dalot has a role, but if we switch to back four, we've got Mazraoui, and then Dalot doesn't even play unless you want to put him on the left. But why? But we'll see what happens with Dalot. But how about Bruno? What do you guys think about Bruno yesterday? Another match, literally, like it's almost been every match these last several months where he's created 5 chances. Literally, and his free kick was world class. Got an assist as well. I mean, this is becoming a pattern for him: goal, assist, minimum 5 chances created in a match. Like, what else can people ask for? And I really don't know. He's literally only behind Erling Haaland right now for goal involvements in the league this season. He's only behind Michael Olise for assists in the top 5 leagues too. Like, Bruno is having an excellent season, and he's playing in a deep role. Like, yes, lately he's been deployed in making these kind of number 10 runs and holding up in these positions, but that's tactical. You'll notice the average position of the players, it's Casemiro sitting in front of the defense, and Bruno, it's almost like a diamond, a wide diamond in midfield now, with Bruno kind of right behind the front three. And that's tactical. So people want to keep saying like he's out of position, he's out of position. He's making these runs repeatedly because he's one of the only players who's able to finish his chances right now. And this is tactical. This is just the way Amorim's doing things right now. What are we saying here? Box says we need a Jordan Manu and Kobe Manu pivot and we'll win the quadruple. We're talking about quadruples. Isn't that what Liverpool do? And then they just get egg on their face. DJ, welcome. How you been, man? Good to see you again. I can't tell if you mean you ain't Amorim out or what. Let me know what you think, man. Rich thinks Bruno. Yeah, Bruno tends to do well. He had a shaky start to the season, like I said, against Arsenal. He was the worst player on the pitch. He's not a 6. I don't know why people judge him for his 6. It's like judging a center back when they play fullback. It doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. Do I like Bruno in a 6? No, I don't. Do I think that he's good there? Not always. He definitely will be pulled out of position, but that's because his job is to make things happen. And so it is what it is. If you want to tell Bruno he's got to stick in that area of the pitch and can't do anything else, be prepared to drop more points because that's just the way it goes. Bruno literally has won us points single-handedly. Then he says Dalot needs to go. Bruno was brilliant, at least 10. Yeah, he's fucking doing fine. Like, I don't get the hate, honestly, but Box, it's been the story of Bruno since he's arrived. If he had some better finishers, if the club had been in a better position, if Ronaldo hadn't have thrown a toy out of the pram, would easily, like, Bruno could very easily have doubled the assists if we just had some better players around him over the last couple of years. He can't do it all, but it is what it is. And Mbumo missed a chance. No way. Yeah, Mbumo missed a lot of chances yesterday. I was getting annoyed with Mbumo, man. I don't know what the deal was. Yeah, I did see a rumor, Rich, that I know Bayern were interested before. I know didn't, and we're going to talk about the Bruno stuff tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today, mostly just because I'm waiting for the full kind of transcript to come out. Because a lot of the quotes that have been going around, they are kind of being dissected and cherry picked a little bit and taken out of context. The quotes are there, but I think that there is more to it. So I'm waiting for the full thing to come out so I can really take a hard look at it. Remember, tomorrow we are doing the kickabout. Dylan and I are really going to focus hard on Bruno, Kobe Manu, Paul Scholes, Real, all that stuff. We're gonna talk about all that tomorrow, so that'll be the main focus. But I'm waiting till the Bruno quotes come out in full before I want to have it talk, because I don't like doing things out of context. I hope you guys can understand that's how I roll. Buck says, I know the midfield 2 causes problems for us, but Cass and Bruno have been problems. Yeah, and this is also the thing where people like, yeah, Kobe Manu could have been very useful in different situations, but is he doing better than Casemiro and Bruno? You could argue maybe yesterday Kobe's 40 odd minutes was very good. Like, he showed the best aspects of him yesterday with the press resistance. I think we're going to talk about some other issues with Kobe that popped up yesterday as well. You guys know where I'm going with this because I was not happy there. But DJ's in Kenya. Big up, man. He wants Amorim sacked. Yikes. Well, I appreciate your opinion. I always ask for reasons why people have their opinions, but I appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, right. What's cold for Kenya? Box says, seen a lot of Glasner. I mean, it's always going to pop up. It's the media do this. I mean, real quick spoiler alert with the media. I've told you guys how many times that the media will sit on stories and quotes and interviews for a while, and then they'll wait for the opportune moment to release it, i.e. this all these quotes from this Bruno interview. This was done back in November, and it just dropped after a shit result. So I'm just telling you, that's what the media will do. So keep that in mind, man. Um, Danny says Carrick or Fletcher. Dude, bring Ollie back if you're gonna bring an interim back, dude. Just let Ollie just run wild. Who cares at this point? Doesn't mean amorim out, but if we're talking about interims, dude, just bring Ollie back. Who cares? Ollie would do it. Ollie is just happy to be here, man. All right, Casemiro. Another mixed bag. I mean, but he did get his goal. Did really well for that, so I'm not gonna complain. I will say this of Casemiro, though, whatever third lung he found over the summer seems to be wearing out a little bit. Something happened in that last international break where he was on a tear, and then he came back and just you could tell like it was just a couple matches too much for him. I think he play like almost every match that international break. Like I just whatever second wind he found over the summer, it's wearing out a little bit, and that doesn't mean he's bad. Like I said, he's been playing well, and he and Bruno are doing really well, but you can tell like something happened where he's just done now. It is what it is. Alexson, welcome. Alexison. I don't know how to say that. It says Bournemouth game was a testament. We can't just dump kids in the 11, expect to win in a high-pressure game. Delit Maguire would have been the difference. Firmly believe Manu should follow the same. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about Euro heaven. This is what you're going to get with kids sometimes. And again, they're not bad. They're just kids. So you are going to get it. So I've got thoughts on those goals. Box says Giggsy part 2. Yeah, good luck with that. The Premier League and United, they're a little too cowardly in some ways. I mean, the Premier League Hall of Fame should literally just be called the Ryan Giggs Hall of Fame, and Ryan Giggs isn't even. They let John Terry in, so hey, cool. Like, glad to see everything. Like, but that's fine. I'm surprised they're not putting like freaking Luis Suarez in there too. The racist prick. Box the Casemiro goal output since he's joined has been Casemiro's been fine. It's just a matter of he's just older now, so we can't build a midfield around 230 some odd year old midfielders. It's just not going to happen. So it is going to be a pricey summer if we do it right, unfortunately. Yeah, we did see that yesterday. I'm still getting through the individual performances, Dan. I haven't even gotten to my 3 thoughts yet. You guys are jumping way ahead of me here, but I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. And this is the thing, Danny, that, I mean, how many times have we said this? Like, the way we line up on paper is not the formation that sits throughout the entire game. Like, we switch to like a 3-2-5 sometimes in attack. Sometimes it looks like a 3-1-6 in attack. Yesterday, we obviously took off a defender and moved to a back 4 a little bit, which I thought made us look very good. I do think Amorim, again, the risk-averse nature that he has, does kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit. It is he is more like Mourinho and Pep. He's like a combination of Mourinho and Pep a little bit. He's just very tactically rigid, like a Pep, but he's also very just like defense first, like solidarity, like first, consolidate first, like Mourinho in that regard. It's really weird. It's like a weird combination of that. So DJ wants a 4-3-3 manager who can adapt. Look at how Iriola adapted. I mean, yeah, leading the game, but again, Iriola did also admit that the way we set up yesterday made it also very difficult for them as well. And so you have to take that into an account too. So, but I hear you. Everybody's got their preference, man. Box says Premier League Hall of Fame going to get Wirtz and Isak. Dude, has Wirtz got a goal or an assist yet in the league? Money well spent, Liverpool. Money well spent, man. Seriously. Dude, we did look good. We were dominant. That first half was very, very good, I thought. It was very good. Ivan welcome says, bro, he ain't even a combination of Dyche and Potter. I'm talking about the way he plays, the way he sets up a little bit, the way his style is. I didn't say he was as good as Mourinho and Pep. I think got to pay attention to what I say. I'm talking about his rigidity in terms of the tactics and whatnot, because Pep is very, very rigid. But then like the defense first kind of mindset. Like Mourinho would be happy with a 1-1 draw or 1-1 win sometimes, that kind of mindset. But y'all know what I mean. So moving on, Mount. Honestly, I thought Mount was unlucky to be subbed off. I thought he offered a lot more than Mbeumo did, and I think that between the two of them, I thought Mount looked more likely to help out and to maybe make something happen, because Mbeumo was having an absolute shocker. Mount was dropping deep to get involved. I think he's like, we talked about this with Jarvis recently too. uh, Mount's really making a case for an option if we need to in the pivot over Bruno sometimes. I think Mount offers a little bit more physicality. He's got that kind of Conor Gallagher ish traits to him where he's a willing runner, willing to get stuck in, and I think that Mount again unlucky to be the one taken off because I do think Mbumo put in his worst performance in a United shirt yesterday. He's not shit. He's not a bad player, but we have to say like it was a bad performance yesterday. Poor finishing. He looked a half step behind the play overall at times. There were a lot of really good balls into him, and he just was like just a second behind the play. I don't know if he's focused on AFCON. He did recently get named as Cameroon's captain for that, so maybe he's just not wanting to strain himself. I don't know if that. This is why I hate international stuff. Like I'll never get super hyped for international football, and this is why right here. It's club before country, but I thought he was a little weak on the ball too. He was getting pushed off the ball a little bit as well. So it's definitely a match to forget for Mbumo, but I just thought that it just wasn't. It wasn't his best performance, and there are reasons for that. I just don't know what they are necessarily. Yeah, I was surprised Mount was sub, man. I don't get that at all. But oh, and then Cunha. Forgot about Cunha. My other pick for potential man of the match alongside Lamens is Cunha. Probably our most underappreciated player at the moment. I think, like I said earlier, he does all the dirty work. He never stops fighting for the badge. He wants to get involved in everything. It's buzzing to see him get his goal. So suck it, Florian Wirtz. This is what goals look like. And again, it comes at a perfect time when we're losing Mbumo, we're losing Ahmad. We really need Cunha step up. It's great to see Shesko back fit too. Shesko looked sharp too. Really happy with Shesko's cameo. I think he got the assist for Cunha's goal, right? Or no, he got an assist for something. I can't remember now, but yeah, that's what we need. Hopefully, it's a first step. It's building something, confidence, form, all that kind of stuff. We need it. We're going to need it over the next month, man. Let's see. Ivan says the only reason Amorim is still in the job is because the teams around us haven't performed to their best ability. I would argue the reason they're in the job is he's Ineos's guy, and we're building something. I think if Amorim starts to lose a lot of the players, I think that could probably be the difference because Ineos are buying players, and if those same players are not vibing with Amorim, that could be a thing. But again, I do think if we finish like crap, like anywhere near mid-table this season, I think that he could probably go as well. We'll wait till the end of the season unless it gets just untenable again. But if you want to talk about or want to go watch something on potential replacements, Dylan and I did do a special edition kickabout a couple months back when it was really bad, going through a lot of different manager options, pros, cons, style, history, all that stuff to look at possible replacements and why. You can go check out that video. You can dig around in the channel. You'll find it. It's not that old. Ivan says Mbumo was one zesty. I don't know what that means, zesty guy. Tell me, gotta know what you mean by this. Is a family show, so let's keep it PG. Let's see. Box says Mbumo will come good, but I'm frustrated. Yeah, it was just a bad match. Like I said, it's one to forget. Let's just chalk it off, and hopefully he comes back from AFCON sharp. But yeah, I thought Cunha. I think Cunha is just being underappreciated, but he does need to start putting in some goals. But I'm not gonna call him shit or anything like that. But let's go into my thoughts, you guys, because I've got 3 thoughts. You guys know I always do my 3 thoughts. I want yours as well, so make sure to get involved as we go along. Please, again, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We are on the road to 3K. I did promise if we got there before Christmas that we would do a giveaway, and because Dylan and I are going to be in Manchester for Christmas, the winner would get whatever they wanted from the mega store, but it's up to you guys. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Keep hyping the old videos on your phones. That does help as well. Check those memberships out too if you guys want to help the channel grow in that way as well. The memberships are a great way to get more involved in the content. So let's talk about my 3 thoughts here. I'm sorry, wrong slide. Let me go make sure I got the right slide up. Hold up. This is what happens when I have class right up until my my stream. I don't have time to double check everything. But it's all right. You guys know how we roll here. Gives me a chance to get caught up on the chat here. Ivan says, I just want someone who plays the players in their best positions, willing to adapt. I think, yeah, that's the one thing I think we all had issue with to start, right, was not willing to adapt. And I respect Amorim when he talks about, at least with like formations and whatnot, like Amorim kind of did things in his way in terms of he wanted his principles, the way that he wants the players to see the game. He wanted to work on that early on, and I think that, and he said when he starts to feel like the players are doing that, when they're getting that, then he can work on the next phase in this whole process. I think that this is what I mean when I say he's like rigid. Like I think there's a little bit of flexibility still needed there. He's showing a little bit more in recent weeks, but it's just we'll see what happens. Shant, what up? Says we can't blame Amorim. Defenders are not fit. No, I don't think I don't think the result is necessarily on Amorim for sure. We're just talking on different context right now. I thought that this was some defensive errors that really saw us concede some cheap goals yesterday. Amorim's system and stuff has got us, highest XG. We're like up there with most goals scored almost. I think we're like third. We're getting a lot of opportunities. We're getting a lot of chances. We're getting a lot of touches in the box. It's just defensively, we're just leaking goals, and the attackers they're not super clinical right now. But you're right. We're missing Maguire. We're missing De Ligt. We're missing Mizraoui. It does hurt. It definitely does hurt. So, Box, is that the stat true? The Bournemouth first team ever to come to Old Trafford? Yeah, it definitely is true, man. Bournemouth seem to have a bit of our number, man. Danny says, regardless of who the manager is, we need 2 players. We definitely need, we can argue we need like 5 players, honestly, but we do need a midfielder for sure. And I don't think that some sort of attacker or maybe a center back, who knows, but we do need players. Midfielders for sure. Casemiro can't do 60 minutes. Kabi doesn't look like he wants to be here anymore. Ugarte can't get a sniff. We need midfielders absolutely showing up. So let's go into my thoughts here. You guys know I got thoughts. Starting with number 1, switched off again. Just switched off again, dude. Seriously. So I said to Dylan while we were watching the game, like, is it not enough that we feel like we have to tell Premier League footballers to come out of the second half like switched on and like alert and focused? Like, is it not enough we have to do that? But is it even worse that these same players do not seem to learn from their mistakes against like Forest and Spurs, where you come out of the second half and you get absolutely like embarrassed right off the bat? I mean, literally 39 seconds into the second half, Bournemouth score that goal. I mean, on the attack, we look very good, very fluid, but we just don't have the players to defend the midfield in this system, especially against a transition. It's just one pass or one dribble, and we're completely carved open, man. It's just those little moments. I mean, like right here, again, this is what I was talking about. You can see Shaw. I should have put a circle on, but you can see Shaw's on the ball. Mount just passed him the ball. They have 3 Bournemouth players literally on them, and we said this in the preview. Bournemouth's passes per defensive action numbers are among the best in the league. They don't give you any time on the ball. And it was more of the same yesterday. Shaw right here receives this ball, should have just booted it, should have put his foot right through it. And this is what happened to Semenyo, like completely shoving him off the ball and going on a scoring run. Like Semenyo just carried that ball literally from just inside our half all the way up the pitch and scored. Like absolutely embarrassing, dude. TJ said we can blame Amorim for not selling Bruno. I mean, he's our best player. If we didn't have Bruno this season, do you think we would have scored some of the goals that we've scored? I mean, that ball in for Harry Maguire against Spurs, that equalizer, that doesn't happen if Bruno's not on the pitch. Like, I hear you. We could have used the money. That's an Ineos problem. That's not an Amorim problem. Like, it is what it is. Don't let the recent interview stuff like form your opinion of Bruno, because I think Bruno's literally one of the best players in the league right now. But and that's just my opinion. You do what you got to do. The numbers will maybe back it up too. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, Shaw not putting his foot through this. Bruno's poor touch it was like well inside the opposition half. Just a heavy touch got away from him. Bournemouth went on a tear that led to their third. I mean, a counterattack. I mean, Casemiro had to give away a cheap free kick on that one to make up for it, and they scored. I mean, there's only so much you can do there. Young defenders kind of overzealously charging into challenges, like I said or not. If you look at some of these goals, this was that first goal from Evan Nilsson. Like, again, 2 young defenders right here. Evan Nilsson, experienced attacker, just easily just walking right. Casemiro is kind of caught square there. Can't really do much with that. This is why you never want to get squared up when you're defending. You want to keep side. You want to keep jockeying. But Casemiro's caught out. That ball is a simple ball. I think that's Tavernier. Just finds Evan Nilsson, who just literally walks right between our defenders and into the goal. It's bad. They're not looking us to the space in between. There's no communication there. It's not a good goal to concede. But again, two of the goals were just like that. Here's the other one to Krupi as well. Literally almost a carbon copy. This one's just like 5 yards deeper into our just outside our box. Literal carbon copy. Just a simple ball, attacker right between both defenders. Now this one was Licha and Heaven this time, but again, same exact shit. I just don't understand how it's so easily just to score goals. We're just the teams are just scoring the little chances that we give them right now. It's ridiculous. The warning signs were there too, because we saw Clivert almost had a goal from this exact same situation in the first half. So, and it was good defending from Dallo to get his body in the way. But again, the warning signs were there. We just didn't pay attention. Someone's got to communicate. Someone's got to be a leader in this back line. How many times have I said it? You don't have to wear the armband to be a leader. And some like Lamens talk to him, Licha talk. Like, does no one talk to each other? But that's off the ball switched off. I thought Mbumo, again, extremely wasteful. Didn't seem 100% focused. He could have had a couple goals with the chances he was getting. Some clear key. That one that he just like lazily, like just scuffed it wide. That was just a weak shot to the ball from Cunha. Deserved a much better finish from him. And I do somewhat agree, though, with Amorim, too, that he said after the match that, you guys think we lost it in the second half. I think we lost it in the first half. And I agree. I thought the chances that we weren't putting away in the first half, like, they're going to come back to bite us. And we've seen that many, many times. Yeah, Krupi is doing really well. Obviously, he's an impact sub. He's coming off doing a lot of work. So Box says, this is more painful second time viewing these goals. How do you think I feel, man? I watched this shit. I watched it again this morning. I put together the show, and then I got to go do the show, man. It's freaking annoying, man. It's like Groundhog's Day for shit performances for me, dude. But hey, you guys are here, so you're helping sharing the misery, so that helps. Misery loves company, right? So, but yeah, I thought it was just switched off from us in just key moments. And again, it's been the story of the season so far. Not good enough in the opposition half, or sorry, in both boxes, really. Just switching off in defense, like not clinical enough in attack. We're creating a ton of chances. We're not letting teams get a lot of chances to score, but we are just conceding with those chances, which is just not good enough. And it's just, you feel like we're just like a little bit away from just kind of tightening that up, but it needs to happen sooner because we dropped so many points this season because of it, and it's really getting on my nerves. Moving on, number 2, what more do fans want? Again, I'm just gonna say it. This one to me is not on Amorim necessarily. This is on the players, but I think fans are still gonna want to find a way to blame it. If you're Amorim out ahead of this one, cool, but I don't think this is a match where you can hit Amorim with, honestly. He started 2 young players in the back line, put Fredrickson on the bench, brought Kabi on, who got 40 minutes. He even switched to a back 4 for the majority of the second half as well. We were down. Amorim made attacking changes. We got back into it as well. I mean, I just don't know what else he could do. I don't know what you guys made of Kabi Mainoo's performance last night. He looked tidy on the ball. I thought he was really good at getting himself out of tight situations. He does what I want, like Ahmad, to do a bit more of: pass and move, pass and move. He would lay the ball off, and then he would keep his run going to receive it. That's what I like from midfielders. You guys know that I really like Kabi's press resistance and his close control. I think it's elite for someone as young as he is. Danny says done well. Yeah, I thought he did well. I thought he had a really good cameo. But unfortunately, the cameo was marred a bit by the actions of his brother. like what is it with United players and their brothers acting like complete fucking morons on social media? Like, this right here, everything Kabi did well, it's almost completely erased by this bullshit right here, dude. Seriously. Debasi, welcome, dude. His brother did. His brother was an idiot, dude. Like, this is some stupid shit. Like, if this is the problem, this is like, you guys remember when Pogba was here and Mine Raiola would run his mouth every time international break come up? Like, yeah, Pogba might not have approved it, might not have discussed it, but at the end of the day, this person is representing you in one way or the other, and it reflects poorly on you, whether you like it or not. And so this, whether Kabi knew about this or not, this reflects poorly on Kabi. Again, it completely mars his cameo. Now, this looks like it's either at halftime or before kickoff, because you can see all the training and shit out there. But still, this was embarrassing, man. Kabi, Amas, Cheeto, they all need to grow up. like they just do. Like, stop acting like idiots on social media. Stop throwing a temper tantrum because, like, I don't agree with what Amorim said. We talked about that yesterday. But at the same time, responding on social media doesn't help anybody. It just makes you look worse, and it doesn't help your case, dude. It really doesn't. Box says, "Look at that post." I guess this guy is like a somewhat of a celebrity now. In my PFA class, I don't think a lot of those people knew I was American because somebody made a Faulty Towers reference and I had to Google it. I didn't know what they were talking about. But I guess this guy is on some show called Love Island. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Obviously, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, honestly, but especially if it's a reality TV, it sounds like it's a reality TV. I don't watch reality TV. But I guess this guy was a contestant or something. Clearly, if you're a pseudo celebrity no one cares about, this is a good way to get yourself out there. But again, I think Cobby's forcing the move. Whether he knew about it or not, this doesn't help any of the situation. It just adds fuel to the fire and just doesn't help anybody, at least not the club. So again, Cobby, bad look for him, man. Box says Manu would have his own private box. Families don't just sit at the front row, so he must have got access to go down there. I mean, you can go down, especially before kickoff, box, and take photos real quick if you want to. You can't be there the whole match, and so they don't let you do that. But yeah, before kickoff, you can go down there and take photos. No one cares about that. People do it all the time. Yeah, people run over to the players' tunnel to like away from their seats to try to like say hi to the players. That happens all the time. So clearly, this was either halftime or it was pre-kickoff. So that's the only way he can get down there to do that because the stewards, like, they don't care. They're just standing there. But DJ says Cobby was already getting help from Legend. His brother made it a joke. Yeah, this brother, again, either way, it's representative of you. And this is what, like, if I'm a manager of a restaurant and one of my servers is a complete asshole, whether I had any knowledge of it all, it reflects poorly on me. And so I'm the one who's got to now take responsibility for it. So it just is what it is. This is part of being an adult. This is part of taking accountability for shit, even when it's not directly your fault. This is part of it. And now, again, Cobby's not helping himself in this. I think he's forcing a move. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. And it is what it is. But what it is embarrassing. So I'm not happy with anybody right now. Box says, Sean, make me some free Malacia t-shirts. Yeah, we don't make t-shirts at this club. That's something Liverpool supporters and Liverpool players and Liverpool coaches do when their players is a racist asshole. We don't do that here. Um, but yeah, regarding like what more fans want, I mean, again, so it's going to sound like I'm throwing Heaven and Euro under the bus again, but again, I need to say it, and I've said it earlier. The youngsters are going to be inconsistent. They are going to make mistakes. They are going to cost you points. That's just part of the youngsters thing. But again, when people spent the last several months complaining that Amorim is not playing youth, and then he does play youth, and you get youth-ish mistakes, this is part of it. This is part of that process. You can't have it both ways. You can't say play the youth and then get mad and blame Amorim when those same youth make mistakes. I'm not throwing him under the bus. Again, it sounds like I am. I'm not. I'm just pointing out. We had the same thing with Garnacho. He would go on a really good spell, and then he would dip in form. That's part of it. So anyone who's been bashing Amorim for it needs to look at those two goals I pointed out with the defenders and say, okay, that does play a role. Euro been dipping in form recently, and that's part of what's going to happen. Again, they're not bad. The players we have are good. Euro is very good. Heaven looks better and better. Dorgu, still young. Shesko, still young. Lamens, 23. That's no age for a goalkeeper. They're going to make mistakes. It's not because they're bad. It's because they're young. But this is what happens sometimes. Evan Nilsson, experienced attacker, found a good position. Krupi came on very direct, saw exactly the kind of chances that Kluivert and Evan Nilsson got, and just said, I'm going to do the same thing. So it's annoying. It is. So, I mean, Amorim, he is doing what people have asked. He is making some changes, but you can tell he didn't want to play a back four, but because he did shift back to a 5 later on, which I thought made us look a little shaky, but it is what it is. Dabasi enjoyed it, even though he thought it was a draw. I mean, for the neutral, I'm sure it was amazing. I'm still livid, though. I'm super annoying. Dabasi says Lamens kept in the he for sure kept us in the game. Like I said, he and Cunha were probably tied for second right now between, like, just behind Bruno for my man of the match, personally. Adrian is back in the house, said we must back this gaffer to the end. DJ's not going to be happy with you. That's funny. Yeah, I think that, again, we got to be the point where it always starts the same with every manager. They need a preseason. They need some players that suit their system a little better, and they need some time. Those are the 3 things that managers need. And what you also expect from them is a little bit of adaptability, a little bit of risk and boldness when it comes to taking a chance sometimes. And those are the things we haven't seen a whole lot from Amram, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Damn. Yeah, the under 21 just kicked off against Tamworth. Tamworth are up 3-0. Fuck. That sucks. Buck says I hated everything about last night. That's funny. Yeah, it was not a fun match to watch. We had to apologize. Dylan and I were at a pub watching this, and we had to apologize to the people around us a couple times because we're getting a little loud. Lyle's in the house. Big up, Lyle, man. Good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well. How have you been? Let us know how you're getting along these days. Lyle says, I'm a member now. You might have gotten gifted one. People do gift memberships now and then. That's also a way you can not only support the channel, but hey, like help out some of your fellow community members is gift some memberships. We gifted a couple memberships not that long ago. I feel like it was a couple weeks ago. I threw out a couple memberships out there. So you have to have that activated on your personal YouTube account, though, because if you don't have the ability to accept that activated, if people gift memberships, you won't be in with a shout. So you got to go dig around in YouTube on your settings and activate that. But yeah, what more do fans want? You guys let me know. Number 3, we just don't want Champions League football. We just don't seem to want it. I really think that we are actively avoiding Champions League qualification at this point. I mean, we had the lead 3 times last night and threw it away. How many times have we done that this season, dude? It's fucking annoying. When Krupi scored that equalizer, it was literally, again, almost a carbon copy of Evan Nielsen's goal. When that happened, I literally smacked the high top table so hard in frustration at that pub that my hand is still killing me. Sorry. I'm not joking. You can ask Dylan. My hand still hurts from that. I smacked it so hard. We can't keep a clean sheet either, man. It's ridiculous. Oh, something happened in there. Oh, look at that. Dabasi's been a member for 5 months. Big up, Dabasi, man. Dabasi, you get one of these, bud. So, yeah, thank you, Dabasi, for being a member for 5 months. Yeah, members, that's the best way to get involved in the channel. I mean, you get access to the WhatsApp group. There is a pinned post for that in the YouTube page. If you go down to the post, just don't share it with people, please. It's for members. So starting 11 members get that. Legends members can join in virtually for the Kickabout show every week when Dylan and I do that. Now, tomorrow is the final Kickabout before Dylan and I go to Manchester. So be sure to tune in for that. But yeah, starting 11 Legends members, you guys all get to have a say-so in scouting reports, what if episodes, questions from a boot, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's probably it, man. That's probably it. So big up, everybody. Hope you guys are all just enjoying life as the UVE community. You guys are awesome. So, and a milestone message too. Yes, you do. Even a milestone message. Now, yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, Dabasi. So Dylan and I, you guys know one of the co-hosts on the channel who joins me every week for the Kickabout. We're going next week to Manchester. We will be there for the Newcastle match and the Wolves match. And we're also going, so they moved our Newcastle match up a day. So that almost fucked us. But now we had a whole day. So we got tickets to go see Burnley versus Everton. And then we're also going to Salford as well. So we're going to get a look at Ethan Ennis, who is on loan at Fleetwood. They play Salford while we're there. So we're going to go check that out. So a lot of footy. I only go for footy. If I can't get in 2 home matches within a couple of days of each other, I don't go. It's just worked out in the last couple of years that's the way it's been schedule wise. So it has worked out. But yeah, my hand's killing me because I'm just frustrated with the way we're just conceding goals. Every time we get an opportunity to go top 4, every time other rivals around us drop points, we just shit the bed as well. We can't keep a clean sheet. We've only had like 6 clean sheets under Amram in like 40 some odd matches, which is super annoying. Yeah, we're 6th, right? We're 6th in the table. We had a chance to go 5th. We threw it away. Again, we just don't want European football. And I got to be honest, like, I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. Like, I feel like we just haven't been doing it. Absolute legend, Dabasi gifted 5 UVE members. Now, this is the funny part because now we're going to see who's lurking. But big up Dabasi, man. We're going to do another one of these, man. Awesome, Dabasi, absolute legend, dude. We appreciate that. So we got King Eric, Martel, Scrio, Shane, Mike, all the lurkers. No, we love you guys. We're happy that you're here. Make sure you like the video for Debasi, helping you guys out too. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. Clearly, you can see I try to get everybody involved. Everybody's chat typically gets read out, but yeah, we don't want European football. We've dropped like 6 or 7 or 8 points at Old Trafford recently, just from simple mistakes and switching off and mentality, and it's just not good enough. It doesn't feel like a fortress anymore. Bournemouth come here and we ship 4 goals. Like, it just doesn't happen, dude. I wonder if the players have the mentality to sustain that fight, to keep always having to fight to get to top four, or if it seems like every time we throw a chance away. Like, Bruno did not look happy last night, and I don't blame him. He was all of us last night, Bruno. I know a lot of people are like looking at the juxtaposition of this interview nonsense with Bruno's actions, and they're building the connection. I told you before, that interview was done in November. The media will literally sit on this stuff for weeks and wait for the right moment. And when Bruno started throwing his temper tantrum at the end, that was the right moment. You guys got to pay attention to shit like that. But Lyle says more green up in here. Me like it. Yeah, I like the green too, man. I appreciate that. Debasi's a legend, man. He's been around for a minute, long time member. So, but I mean, and here's the thing though too. Let's say we get Champions League football. Like, do you think that these players would be better or worse competing on multiple fronts in multiple matches? We can barely handle one game a week right now without shitting ourselves, without throwing away leads, without failing to capitalize on opportunities to go top 5, top 4. We should be second with some of the points that we've dropped in the last several months. We just don't seem to want it, and it's really getting on my fucking nerves, dude. So I mean, it's if we were in Champions League this year, we would already be out. Like, it just was. We sacrificed the league last season to get all the way to the Europa League final. We literally just said fuck it to the league. We're focusing on the Europa League, which was a dangerous game to play in those last couple of months or so, because we looked like we could get relegated at some point. But it is what it is, man. It's super annoying. Final thoughts, you guys. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. And, like, again, Simon Hooper needs to have a look at himself, as does the VAR, as does the PGMOL, as does the Premier League. Because how in the absolute fuck Semenyo was not sent off for this is beyond me. And you can tell, like, if you go back and watch the clip after it happened, you can tell that he knew that he should have been sent off. You could tell that he thought he was going to see red because of the way he was reacting. He walked away. He had his head down. He looked a little sheepish, like he was like, ah, shit. And then if you look at, like, what Casemiro was sent off for, I was at this game. When you look at what Casemiro was sent off for, like, compared to what Semenyo did, like, absolute horseshit. All we want is consistency. Casemiro was basically deported for this, and Semenyo literally grabbed Dallo by the throat and saw a yellow. And I've seen who was it? Fucking, it was either Carragher or Neville or something. I think it was Gary Neville, who basically they're making an excuse because he's mad. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter if you got fouled. You're not allowed to do that, bro. That's a red all day long, dude. Like Bach says, that's a red any way you slice it, no matter what league you're in or not, man. Debasi said we're playing like Robin Hood, win against the strong teams, give points to the struggling ones. And Debasi, it's because the struggling teams, I guess if you want to call them that, the Fulhams, the Bournemouths, the Forests, they're physical. They're scrappy. We're not. We are not scrappy, especially that midfield. We lose that midfield battle time and time again. Lyle says, I feel Europa is a good path for us next season. However, we're in the mix. Yeah, I don't want Conference League. If we get Conference League, don't anticipate any preview. I don't care about Conference League. It's the Man City of competitions. It's literally been irrelevant for a couple of years. That's it. It was literally created like 4 years ago, dude. Box says, justice for Casemiro. Dude, maybe that's the t-shirt idea. Justice for Casemiro, man. Tobias says, ref decision never going to, like, it's just the inconsistencies, man. Simon Hooper's fucking, that was a shit performance. And don't get me started on the handball calls. I know somebody mentioned that earlier. The one we did get called, that was just that obviously Bruno scored from it, so it was basically like we got a pen, but the one we did get awarded was nowhere near as clear cut as one or two of the other ones that weren't given. Like, Simon Hooper was absolute dog shit yesterday. It's annoying, dude. Box says a few cheeky Conference League. The Conference League is garbage, man. This is like Chelsea calling themselves world champions because they won the bullshit Club World Cup. Sorry, nope, not calling that. Not gonna happen. The boss says Ahmad is a right wing back, for example, not too physical. He was physical yesterday. 2 tackles, 7 out of 10 ground duels. He was tracking back. He was getting involved. He did really well. There were chances. There were times where he could have been more physical, like that free kick that Casemiro got away. Like Ahmad had a chance to maybe foul ahead of Casemiro, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get too much. I think that so people say that Amorim needs to respect the academy. I think honestly, the academy players need to respect him. I think the academy players need to also start respecting the club a little bit more. Some of them have been a little whiny bitches recently. Either way, Kabi, Cheeto, Amas, Amorim, none of it is a good look for the club right now. It's not Amorim's job to develop academy players. It's the academy director and the academy coach's job to develop the academy players and get them ready to play Premier League football. Yes, Amorim probably could have rolled the dice a couple times, maybe on Lacey against Everton, for instance, Kabi in some instances as well. But it's not his job to develop the youngsters. The youngsters need to be developed by the academy coach, unfortunately. So, oh shit, the under 21s must be shit today. Well, that's unfortunate. What's the score in that one? Is it still 3-0? Because that sucks. What we got here? Let me see. It is 3-0. Yikes. Geez, 4 minutes in, 15 minutes in. Geez, the academy shit in the bed today. Debasi says the FA Cup is key. Hopefully, we have Brighton as our first round. We did beat them, so I mean, who knows? But we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know what Brighton are going to turn up, and they don't look great right now. And like I said, when people were gassing up Hertzler, Iriola, and these guys, let them have their season. Let's see what they can do with their second season. It's the same with Kieran McKenna when everybody was like, hire McKenna, hire McKenna. Let's see how he does. Hertzler's kind of in a sophomore slump. Iriola's a little bit in a sophomore slump. That's going to happen. So just chill. Sean Dyche is going to do Sean Dyche things. His new manager bounce. Let it kind of regress to the mean a little bit. But hey, look at that. We kept our record of never being beaten at home when we're leading at halftime. So hey, there's one record we can hold on to. Still got the academy player in the matchday squad record. We do have Villa next, though, and honestly, if we play anyway near like we did the second half of this one, that could get ugly. If we're that open against a high-flying Villa side, I think they're on a tear right now. Emery was, spoiler alert for those of you who hadn't watched that video, Emery was one of the options that we talked about in that Amorim replacement video, so go check out that one as well. But we're also going to miss Casemiro for Villa because he picked up too many yellow cards, and it is what it is. Big up, Luan. Good to see you, man. Or woman, however you're welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you guys are new. But so yeah, no Casemiro for the next one, unfortunately. So probably going to be Menu, maybe Ugarte. I think if Ugarte starts over Menu, then it's clearly that Amorim just doesn't see Menu as a Casemiro option, and Bruno is going to start no matter what. But who knows, too, if this was also a sign that maybe Amorim might start switching to a back four for a hot second. I don't know. Without Mazraoui, without Ahmad, maybe there's an opportunity there. Put Dallo, put Dorgu, or Shaw even on the left-hand side. But I think that we looked a little better last night when we did switch to a back four, but it just depends on how stubborn Amorim wants to be. But I don't know what that means for Amorim. If we look better at a back four, why hire a back three coach? I don't know, but we'll see what happens for that moving forward. But Luan, your first time here. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Big up. Welcome to the channel, Luan. Thank you. If you like it, what you see, go ahead and subscribe for me. Let's see. And because you are brand new to the channel, I'm going to go ahead and do one of these numbers and give out 5 memberships just because I can't have Debasi outshining me. So you guys get 5 memberships. Remember, if you do want to accept the memberships, you have to go make sure that's activated in your YouTube account. Otherwise, it doesn't get activated. YouTube won't let you accept it. But look at all these lurkers. I see you guys. But we appreciate you stopping by, Luan. We always like to see a new face. As you can see, I try to make sure everybody gets a voice. So, Danny, thank you guys all for welcoming, being such a good welcome wagon. But that's it for me. I'm going to go chill and just hang out for the rest of the night. I'm very tired. I've got a couple more videos I've got to record, so you guys have some content while Dylan and I are in Manchester next week. So keep a lookout for that. We'll have a scouting report for you guys. We'll have another episode of What If for you guys as well, and I'm going to go do that. So don't forget tomorrow, last kickabout before Dylan and I go, we're going to be talking all about this Bruno interview. We're going to be talking all about the Coffee Manu and Skolzy and all that stuff. So make sure you stop by tomorrow and get involved in that. But until then, you guys take it easy. Yeah, go head over to Tactical Devils if you guys had any. I think Jarvis started a little bit after I did, but go head over to Tactical Devils. Maybe we'll do a maybe we'll do a raid real quick. Why don't we do that? So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by as well, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.